I told you about one particular path that we'll be treading. Basically, this particular site, as seen also, is known for not just the history, but the spiritual aspect of us. Because we believe that we never survived the trade because we were brave and stronger. But for me, I believe we survived this because of a spirit that was with us, and that spirit was so special, and that spirit kept us true. Those of our brothers and sisters that lost their lives during the walk, some never slept, but in the spirit realms they came together. So those of the captives that were brought in here were made to walk on this same path to the river. So this path that you are seeing now is called the ancestral route, which was developed by the feet of our ancestors. Not until 1998, this particular site was seen as an evil forest. An evil forest not being evil, but it's just to send a message across that indeed this particular forest is one forest that we appreciate most. So nobody can goes into it. So that is why you have the name the evil forest. Now, so basically, most often at times when we're going through the river, there are certain rituals that we do which is not binding. First, we walk barefooted on this stretch of land to the river. People ask, why do we walk barefooted? First, you need to appreciate the role your ancestors played. You need to appreciate what they went through. When you are able to appreciate all those things, that is the time that you can say, indeed, these people are my ancestors indeed. So once for experience, we walk through it. The second is a covenant, 400 years covenant that is here to fulfill. Those of our brothers and sisters in the diaspora, most of them have not even returned back to their roots. But if you've had the opportunity to come back to your roots, why don't you make the land knows you? Because the land is yours. So by walking barefooted on the ground, the soil of the ground will rub under your feet, and you have a covenant with your land. And when your ancestors see you walking barefooted on the ground, they will start asking themselves these questions. Is she not the great-granddaughter of Isi? Is she not Arabe's son? So if that happens, at least it makes them so much excited just to see you coming. The third one is basically a very spiritual journey. That when you're walking barefooted, we believe that there is this strength that comes from the earth. And every human being, even when you wake up early in the morning, the first thing that you need to do, which I'm sure you know the ladies are not going to do because of the pedicure and that thing, but the first thing that you need to do is to try walking barefooted. It is very good. It gives you the energy. So by walking barefooted, you are using this tour to get two things: tour and medicinal aspects as well. Then the last one is where we give you opportunity whilst walking. The tour guide will not talk. No one talks. It's between you. You connect. You reflect. And you thank your ancestors. It becomes so emotional. Some people love, people cry along the stretch. But those of us like us, who sometimes try to hide our pains, we normally resort to singing. So when we're going through the stretch and we have a huge group going through the stretch, we sing songs like Lift Every Voice and Sing, Amazing Grace, By the Rivers of Babylon. We sing all those songs while making a journey to the river. So that is the importance of the ancestral route.
Okay.
So we are about to make the journey to the river, and you should forgive me if I don't say a word, because this is the moment of reflection and meditation. So please. We are at a particularly important place in the slave camp. This demarcated area that you see over here was where actually everything happened. because this place is a bamboo-dominated area, the bamboo was used by the raiders as their camps. So when they bring their captives, they get one for themselves each, chain them around it, waiting for them to take their last bath before selling them. Now, this river that you are seeing over here are two separate rivers. They are not the same river. Go back. No. This river that we are seeing now, they are two separate rivers. They are not the same river. When you observe carefully, you see one part of the river loose and the other part of the river is stagnant. This river you see over here, the one that is flowing, is called Amma Emisa. Amma Emisa is getting its source from the Pra River. Do you remember the Pra River? The place they were dumped into that is one this one is getting its source from. The river here is called Nonko Insio. Nonko means slave and Insio means river. This river is getting its source from the township. Now they were made to bathe in this river but not in that river because of the current. During the rainy season, sometimes when we experience more rain, it comes all the way to this level. And the speed at which this river flows is very difficult for you to stand in it. So they made them to wash themselves in the stagnant water because they don't want them to escape. But in the dry season, they use both rivers to bathe them. But the question is, you could have, so you will have a lot of the merchants here waiting, screening through the captives, waiting to get to buy the best. So they bring them from the tree, and the first thing that after unchaining them, the first thing that they do to them is to shave their. They wanted them to look nicer, so they shave their hair with bottles, and it gives them. Yes, so you see blood oozing. After the blood, they walk them straight, and they have put the blood back to the river. So in the river, if the river is what they do is they connect the bamboo trees across the river so that you suspend on it. So they use your chain and you suspend so that half of your body will be in the river and half will be on top, because they don't want you to drown. Yes. Then they use the bamboo tree, the smallest part of it. They cut the smallest part of it. They split it open so it looks like a brush, and they use that to scrub them in the river. So after scrubbing them, you could realize that they have two bruises, one from the hair and one on the body, all with this blood oozing out. The reason why they push them through all those punishments is because they wanted to see if indeed the merchants wanted to see if indeed the captives are really strong. So after that, they drag them from the river. After dragging them from the river, they also make them go through vigorous exercises, push, jumps, all sorts of exercises. They just give it to them. Then after everything, they clean all the blood from them and they smear them with palm oil and shea butter just for the sides. You go to the branding. This is where the slave master will say, "You are mine." So every alphabet he wanted his captives to be tagged with, they put a metal in fire, stab it at your back, your chest, or your shoulder as a source of identification. So those of them that were not seen, not marketable, they weren't left to go scot-free. They were wasted. Yes, and people that fought for their life, they call them they say they were rebellious, but in here we call them freedom fighters. They were also killed. A lot of people drowned in this river. So all those people that lost their lives in this river were buried right there. So behind all this bamboo tree, we call the place the bamboo cemetery. That is where most of our brothers and sisters were buried. In 2005, we had a group, the Slave Road Project. We had a group that came in over here to excavate the land in order to get material evidences to back their claim that indeed it happened here. They were able to get their evidences. They were able to say yes, it did happen here, but the chiefs became so much annoyed. Because the chief said they don't have any right to come to this land to excavate the land, because for once they should allow our ancestors to rest in peace. So basically, in Asin Manso, in terms of the history, this was what really happened during the transatlantic slave trade. But I entreat you all that whenever you come into Asin Manso, it is not just about the history, but it's about who we are, our identity, and our spirituality. Because in Asin Manso, we believe that religion are doctrine for man to attain spirituality. So all of us rather practice spirituality than religion. So thank you all for coming.
Quick question. I see it says first bath of return
and last bath.
Yeah,
Yes.
Real quick.
Yes. So this is the concept of the rituals that we do. The ritual is to cancel this, because we see there's nothing like our last bath, because we are still alive. So we go to the river, but we don't pass through the ark. Yes.
Oh, that's what you said,
Yes.
back up.
Yeah, but when you pass through the ark, it means you've accepted that this is not like the last bath. So we pass behind it and we go to the river. And we have 10 rituals that we do with the river. So after completing all the rituals, then you come out from the first bath of the 10. So it's like, I've been canceling this. Don't use this to call me. I'd rather use this to call you. That's now I have come back. The same river you call the last bath. No, for me, it's the first bath. So it's the concept of the rituals.
Thank you guys. As you heard, Brother Kofi, you need to come back and experience this for yourself. It's really touching. I can't explain. You need to come and feel it for yourself. All right?
Come back to your roots. And words can't explain how we feel right now, but at least you can sense just very little what these people went through. And thanks to their sacrifice and what they went through, we're free today.
So from here, they took them to the slave castle, right?
Yes.
All right, guys. We're going to take you to the slave castle next for you to experience a little bit of what they went through. Not everything, but a little bit. All right? Thanks for watching.